All right, here's our reading lesson. I need you to go ahead and open up your HMH books to page 215. We are going to read the Puddle Puzzle. All right, 215. We are mainly focusing here about asking and answering questions. So, Miss Yusuf, we know how to ask questions. We ask questions all day. Good. You ask me questions all day, but these are questions you need to ask yourself before you read a story. So ask and answer questions. When, why, and how. So before reading, during reading, and after reading, you should always ask yourself, to check for understanding, make sure you understand what you're reading. Because if you're reading and you don't understand what you're reading, there's really no point of you reading, right? All right. And then ask yourself why. Why do we ask ourselves questions like why? To get information, to help us understand the story, to practice being awake and thinking while we're reading and not just reading like zombies, and to be curious and wonder as we read, right? And then how? Use question words to ask who, but what, where, why, when, how, right? And then look in the story or the text and pictures for evidence or details to help you answer. Answer your questions. Who did what? Wait, what? Where? Why? When? Right? Okay, so we ask ourselves questions before, during, and after reading. All right, so before we start reading our story, let's go over a few vocabulary words. We have agency, business, confidently, eagerly, seeps, mystery, ace, and located. Again, you do not have to write these vocabulary words down. I just want you to follow along with me as we review what these words mean. All right, agency. Let's look here. This looks like it's an agency, maybe like a workplace where people are working, right? So an agency is a noun, it's a place. If you work at an agency, your job is to help others get something done. So they're helping others on the phone get things done at this agency, right? So many people worked at this agency. The next word is business. So let's see, this lady looks like she's in a coffee shop. She's giving the other woman coffee. She's working at this business. So a place open for business is ready to work, buy, or sell something. So if you're going to a place to work, to buy, or to sell something, you're going to a business. Here, the aunt opened a small business that sells coffee. So she has a small coffee shop. That's her business. All right, confidently. Confidently. Let's see, this little girl is up here and she's talking to the class. Does she look scared? No. Does she look sad? No. Does she look excited? Kind of, right? She looks like she's speaking confidently. So when you do something confidently, you are sure you will do it well, right? She's doing it well. She's talking in front of the class. Everybody's engaged. They're all looking at her. They're all paying attention. All right, so Tia confidently stood up to give her report. She was giving the class her report. All right, located. So this is kind of like the same as location. Here we have a picture of a map, probably of a zoo, because it says zoo here, and there's a whole bunch of animals. So if we look at this picture, we could say, where are the tigers located? Oh, when you enter to your right, right? That's located. So located is where something is, right? So the alligator pond was located near the center of the zoo. There's the alligator pond, and it's at the center of the zoo. Okay, let's keep going. The next word is eagerly. Eagerly. We can see that this kid is eagerly running into this house. And maybe it's a new house, right? Because I can look around and gather clues that there's boxes and their things might be in the boxes, right? The couch probably doesn't belong there. It looks like it needs to be moved. So these kids look like they eagerly ran into this new house, right? So the family eagerly explored their new home. They were excited to explore their new home. So eagerly is when you really want to do it. So when you really want to do something, you do it eagerly, right? The next one we have seeps. Seeps. Let's see, it looks like an hourglass and the time is going by, or the sand seeps through the other side. So when something seeps, it passes slowly through a small opening. So you could say in the hourglass, the sand seeps through, right? All right. So the sand seeps through the hourglass. Then we have mystery. You all know what a mystery is, right? A lot of you guys like to read mystery stories. A mystery is something that is hard to understand or is not known about. So it's a mystery. When somebody doesn't know about something, it's a mystery. The contents in the box are a mystery. So whatever is in the box is a mystery. No one knows. There are no clues. It's a mystery. All right, moving on. And the very last word is ace. Here in this picture, this boy is holding up the trophy, right? And the kids behind him look excited. He looks happy. Someone described as ace is extremely good at something. So this kid is this is a descriptive word. So maybe you can jot that down real fast inside of your writing notebook. You remember when we did the writing the describing words? Ace is one. And what does ace mean? When someone that is extremely good at something. So you are gonna ace this test. You're gonna do really good on it, right? Okay. So we're going to stop there, and then we are going to start with our story. So your books should be open. Let's read Meet Ellen Weiss. Let's learn a little bit about the author before we start.
Ellen Weiss makes new discoveries whenever she writes a book. She says, if you're a curious person, writing is great. Being curious is helpful when you write a mystery. It is helpful when you read a mystery too. See if you can solve the mystery of the puddle puzzle before the end of the story.
All right, so the puddle puzzle is a mystery. We have to ask questions to help us understand, right? Okay, The Puddle Puzzle by Ellen Weiss, illustrated by Joe Capita. All right, follow along.
Miller Detective Agency. Cast of characters. Taylor, Brandon, Carlos, Adriana. Taylor, I am so...
This would be a fun story to read with the class, right? And maybe everybody gets assigned a character. So someone can be Taylor, someone can be Brandon, someone can be Carlos, someone can be Adriana. And then you guys can read your parts. That would be fun to do maybe tomorrow, because tomorrow you have to reread it anyway, right? Right now, let's read it together, and then tomorrow, if Miss Selena feels like you guys did really well, then it's up to her. If she wants to do that, then you can go ahead and do that. Let's read it together for now, though. So the setting is a neighborhood on a sunny spring day. Remember, the setting is where the story takes place. It's in a neighborhood on a sunny day in the spring. Scene 1.
Excited. The Miller Detective Agency is open for business. Brandon, I am excited too. Taylor, now we just have to wait for our first customer. Carlos, is that the detective agency? Taylor, come over. We are open. Carlos, I am Carlos, and this is my sister, Adriana. We have a problem. Taylor, we are here to help. What is your problem? Carlos, our puddle has vanished. Adriana, we were playing in the puddle. Then the sun went away, so we went inside for lunch. When the sun came back out, we went outside to play again.
Okay, so what's the problem in the story? What happened? Their puddle vanished, right? They were playing in the puddle, woohoo, they were getting wet, they were having fun, and then they got hungry, they went inside to get some lunch. They came out and the puddle was gone. What happened?
And Carlos, but our puddle was gone. Can you help us find it? Taylor, this is a very hard case. We will do our best to solve it for you. Brandon, smiling confidently. I know the answer. I know. Taylor, shh, Brandon. I am the oldest, so I am in charge. We need to go and look for clues.
Okay, so they're going to go look for clues about what? About where their puddle went, right? It's important to ask questions just to make sure we all understand. Okay, here's scene 2. This is the second part.
Scene 2. Taylor, this is where your puddle was located? Carlos, yes, it was right here. Taylor, taking out her notebook and writing. One puddle missing. She looks around. Maybe somebody stole it. Was anyone around here? Carlos, nobody.
Okay, why do you guys think that these words are in parentheses and they're italicized? Italicized means when the words are slanted. Kind of looks like cursive, but it's not. They're just slanted. Why do you guys think these words are italicized? Because they're things good. There are things that they are doing, right? It's not something they're saying. It's something they're doing in the story. Okay, let's keep going.
Taylor, maybe it is hiding. I will look behind this bush. Nope, it is not here. Brandon, eagerly. I know what happened. Taylor, shh, Brandon. Brandon, but I know what happened. Taylor, now I am looking for footprints. Adriana, maybe we should let Brandon talk.
Why do you guys think they didn't want Brandon to talk? Was that very nice? No. Right? You think Brandon might have something good to say or something useful? Let's see.
Brandon, thank you. He clears his throat. A puddle is full of water, right?
See where it says he clears his throat? That's not something he says, it's something he does. Okay? Anyway, let's keep going. Carlos.
Carlos, right. Brandon, but water can have 3 different forms. Carlos, it can? Brandon, yes. When we are splashing in a puddle, the water is a liquid. If you freeze water, it turns into a solid. Adriana, ice. Brandon, there is one more thing water can be too. It can be a gas. Adriana, a gas? Brandon, yes. When we boil water, the steam that seeps out of the kettle is a gas. When the sun shines on a puddle and heats it up, the water turns into a gas too. A gas does not have a shape or size. Sometimes we cannot even see it. Carlos, so that is what happened to our puddle. Brandon, it went into the air and now we cannot see it or feel it. This is called evaporation. Taylor, mystery solved.
All right, we can make a text-to-text connection, right? Yeah, remember we learned about solid, liquids, and gases when we read the story about matter, right? Different forms of matter. All right, scene 3.
Scene 3. Taylor, Brandon, I'm sorry I didn't let you talk today. You knew the answer, and I was too excited about gathering clues to listen. I think we need a new sign. Brandon, smiling proudly. That is much better. Taylor, we are ace detectives. Miller and Miller, Science Detective Agency.
Very good. They're ace detectives. That means they're really good detectives, right? All right, let's answer. You're going to answer these questions with a partner, or we'll just answer them together. What questions did you ask yourself as Brandon and Taylor tried to solve the mystery? We asked ourselves, where did the puddle go, right? The puddle puzzle. Where did the puddle go? At the end, you could ask yourself, how did they solve the mystery? And how did they solve the mystery? They asked Brandon, right? And Brandon told them how. Which detail explains what happens to the missing puddle? So how about the detail where it tells us about water, the 3 different forms of water, and how water can be a gas, and how the water might have evaporated back into a gas, right? All right. And then how does the new sign make Brandon feel at the end of the drama? And why does he feel that way? It made him feel proud, right? Because, woo, he's the one that cracked this case, this mystery. All right. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take out your reading notebooks, and in your reading notebooks on the next blank page, I want you to write the date at the top, and I want you to write stage directions. Okay, so stage directions, that's where it was italicized in the story, and it was telling you what the character did rather than what they said. So it says type stage directions you would like to add to the drama. Be sure they describe what the characters are doing or feeling as they say their lines. So remember to include words that clearly describe your actions, include the characters' lines are on the stage, think about how you would read them. So to simplify that, what I want you to do is I want us to think about a page in the story that you could add more stage directions to. Let's say maybe here. Let's say here, or maybe here. Brandon is raising his hand, but it didn't say that, did it? So maybe you could write in parentheses, Brandon raises his hand. But I know what happened, right? That's a stage direction that you can add on there. Something that they're doing in the picture that it doesn't tell you what they're doing. So here you could say that Brandon is explaining to them what, well, actually, it kind of already tells us that they explain something. So let's keep going. Let's go back a little bit. So where would you add more stage directions to help readers perform the drama? So you're going to use words and pictures to explain your answer. So I guess you can draw a picture of any kind. Okay, how about this? You're going to make your own drama. So you're going to make up your own story, just one page. You can do like, you can draw a picture of, I don't know, somebody eating a watermelon. How about that? Draw a picture of somebody eating a watermelon and looking away, and there is a small animal that is eating it, right? They have the watermelon in front of them on the table, and they're looking away, and there's a small animal that is actually eating from the watermelon while the kid isn't looking. Okay, and then maybe you can write stage directions for what the kid is doing. So the kid is not looking. The kid should have been eating his watermelon, but he's, I don't know, watching the birds fly in the sky. Okay, or maybe that's just a bad idea altogether. Maybe you could just draw a scene from this story. So you can draw any scene from this story and add labels to tell what the characters are doing or feeling. Okay, I think that's a better idea. So just draw a scene from this story that we just read, and add labels that tell so then just tell me basically what the characters are doing and feeling. So, oh, the characters were listening to Brandon explain what happened to the water. The characters were looking for where the water might have went. Okay, so just draw one of those pictures and tell me what the characters were doing. I guess that's the most simplified way to explain that. All right, you're doing that in your reading notebook. Just try your best. I know it was kind of confusing even to me. Just try your best, and that's all I'm really looking for. Okay, guys, have fun learning. If you have any questions, let me know.